I'm sorry, but we don't have any rooms available. I looked at the screen behind her. 50 rooms, all marked vacant in bright green. But your website says you have availability. Our system is experiencing issues. Her smile was ice. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at the Motel 6 down the highway. 3 of the guests, all white, checked in behind me without issue. She didn't know that I owned every single room she just denied me. All 847 hotels in this chain. And in exactly 72 hours, her career would be over. Welcome to Untold Chronicles, where hidden stories of justice finally come to light. Before we begin, drop your city in the comments right now. Let me know you're here. And if you believe discrimination should have consequences, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Because this story is about to take you on a journey you won't forget. I promise you, what happens next will restore your faith in justice. Stay with me. Every single second matters. Let's dive in. September 8th, 2024, 7:43 p.m. I pulled into the Grandview Hotel in Richmond, Virginia. It had been a 14-hour drive from Boston. I was exhausted, hungry, and desperate for a shower. But I wasn't just any tired traveler. My name is Dr. Diane Morrison, and I'm the CEO of Morrison Hospitality Group, the company that owns the Grandview Hotel chain, all 847 properties across North America. But that night, wearing jeans and a Howard University sweatshirt with my natural hair in a messy bun, I didn't look like a CEO. I looked like what I was, a tired black woman just trying to get a room for the night. See, for the past 6 months, I'd been conducting what my board called extreme undercover operations, traveling to our properties unannounced, experiencing them as a regular guest, testing whether our diversity training, our inclusion policies, our zero-tolerance discrimination stance actually meant anything when corporate wasn't watching. So far, I've been disappointed but not shocked. Some locations were better than others. Some staff needed more training. But nothing had been egregious enough to warrant immediate action. Until Richmond. I walked through the automatic doors into the lobby. Modern, clean, our signature sage green accent walls. Fresh flowers at the concierge desk. Everything looked perfect. Behind the front desk stood Amanda Peterson. Early 30s. Blonde. The kind of polished appearance that screamed management track. I approached with my warmest smile. Professional. Friendly. Good evening. I have a reservation under Morrison. Diane Morrison. Amanda's smile was reflexive. Trained. She looked at her computer screen. Then she looked at me. The smile changed. Subtly. You'd miss it if you weren't paying attention. But I was always paying attention. Morrison. She clicked her mouse several times. I'm not seeing a reservation under that name. That's strange. I booked it this morning through your website. Confirmation number is, I pulled out my phone, GV 8847-2024. She typed it in. I watched her screen from my angle. Saw my reservation pop up. Prepaid. King bed. Non-smoking. She frowned. I'm sorry, but we don't have any rooms available. I blinked. But you just pulled up my reservation. I prepaid for it. There must be an error in the system. We're actually fully booked tonight. Her tone was sympathetic but firm. Final. I glanced past her at the digital room availability board, something we'd installed in all our properties for staff efficiency. 50 rooms, all marked vacant in bright green. Your board says you have 50 vacant rooms. Amanda didn't even turn to look. Our system is experiencing technical issues. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I'll need to cancel your reservation and process a refund. Can you check again? Maybe call your manager. I'm a night manager. Her voice had an edge now. And I'm telling you we don't have availability. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at the Motel 6 down the highway, where there's an extended stay hotel about 15 minutes away. More comfortable. That phrase hung in the air like smoke. Behind me, a white couple approached the desk. Amanda's face brightened immediately. I'll be with you folks in just one moment. Warm. Welcoming. A completely different person. I stayed put. Ma'am, I drove 14 hours. I'm exhausted. I have a confirmed, prepaid reservation. I need you to honor it. Amanda's jaw tightened. She lowered her voice. Miss, I understand you're tired, but we simply cannot accommodate you tonight. I've explained the situation. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other guests waiting. She gestured for me to step aside. The white couple stepped forward. Hi there. Amanda beamed. Welcome to Grandview. How can I help you wonderful folks tonight? We need a room, the man said. Do you have anything available? Absolutely. Let me see what we have. She clicked her mouse. I can offer you a deluxe king or 2 queens. Which would you prefer? I stood there, 5 feet away, watching her book a room from the same fully booked system that had no availability for me. The couple checked in, got their key cards, thanked Amanda for her wonderful service. They walked past me to the elevator. I turned back to Amanda. Our eyes met. She knew that I knew, and she didn't care. Is there anything else I can help you with? Her tone was dismissive. Done with me. I took a breath, pulled out my phone, made a show of dialing. What are you doing? Amanda asked, alarm creeping into her voice. Calling corporate. This is discrimination. She laughed. Actually laughed. You're welcome to call whoever you want, but we have the right to refuse service to anyone. Maybe if you'd made a proper reservation instead of just showing up. I showed you my confirmation number. And dress more appropriately for the establishment you're trying to enter. There it was. Dress more appropriately? I repeated slowly. Amanda realized she'd said too much. I just mean, this is an upscale property. We have standards. I looked down at my jeans and sweatshirt. Looked at what I was wearing when I walked in my own hotel. I see. I smiled. And what exactly do your standards require? Professional attire. Business casual at minimum. She was making it up as she went. We had no such dress code for guests. It's hotel policy. Show me that policy. It's in our guest handbook. Which handbook? Because I'd love to read it. Amanda's face flushed. Miss, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You're creating a disturbance. I'm standing here calmly asking for a room I paid for. If you don't leave, I'll call security. I smiled wider. Please do. Behind me, I heard a commotion. Turned to see other guests, all white, streaming in for what looked like a conference. One woman wore yoga pants and a tank top. One man wore cargo shorts and a wrinkled t-shirt. Another couple looked like they'd come straight from the beach. Amanda waved them all over cheerfully. Welcome back, everyone. Did you enjoy the conference dinner? Just come grab your room keys if you need extras. She helped each one, smiled, chatted, welcomed them, while I stood there in my inappropriate jeans and college sweatshirt. That's when I made my decision. I pulled out my phone, but I wasn't calling corporate. I was calling my VP of operations. Marcus? It's Diane. I need you to do something for me. Tonight, let me tell you how I became the CEO of a hotel chain at 39 years old. My grandmother, Dorothy Morrison, was a housekeeper. She cleaned rooms at fancy hotels for 40 years. She'd come home with stories about how guests treated her, how management treated her, the quiet indignities of being invisible. When she died, she left me $50,000. Her entire life savings. Build something better, Hurl said. Build something where people like us matter. I used that $50,000 to buy my first property, a rundown motel off Interstate 95. Fixed it up, ran it myself, made it profitable. Then I bought another, and another. I built Morrison Hospitality Group from that inheritance and my grandmother's dream. 20 years later, we're worth $8.7 billion. We employ 47,000 people. We're the 5th largest hotel chain in North America. And every single decision I make thinking about my grandmother. Would this make her proud? Would this honor her legacy? Would this create a world where people like us, black, brown, poor, dismissed, actually matter? That's why, when I started hearing whispers about discrimination at some of our properties, I didn't send consultants or do surveys. I went myself. And in Richmond, Virginia, I found exactly what I'd feared. After Amanda denied me a room, I didn't leave. I sat in my car in the parking lot and made phone calls. First, Marcus, my VP of operations. Former FBI, brilliant strategist, and my most trusted executive. Marcus, I need documentation. Everything. Cameras, audio, witnesses. I want this airtight. Done. I'll have a team there in 90 minutes. Second call, Robert Chun, my head of legal. Robert, how solid is our anti-discrimination policy? Rock solid. Zero tolerance. We've defended it in court 3 times. Why? Because we're about to enforce it. Third call, My best friend, Kenya, who happened to be staying in D.C. 2 hours away. Ken, remember how you owe me for hiding you from your ex at my wedding? Oh God, what do you need? Pack an overnight bag. Drive to Richmond. Try to check into the Grandview Hotel. Text me what happens. You're doing one of your undercover things again, aren't you? Kenya, I'm already in the car. Kenya arrived at 10:17 p.m. I watched from my car as she walked into the lobby. Beautiful, professional, dressed in business casual. Black woman, just like me. I watched through the glass doors as Amanda's expression shifted the moment she saw Kenya. Kenya approached the desk, smiled, spoke. I couldn't hear the words, but I didn't need to. I saw Amanda shake her head, saw her point to her computer, saw that same false sympathetic expression. No rooms available. Kenya asked questions. Amanda gave rehearsed answers. Kenya left at 10:24 p.m. She texted me, denied, said they're fully booked. I showed her the website showing availability. She said the system was wrong. Suggested I try the Econo Lodge. At 10:31 p.m., Marcus's team arrived. 3 people, dressed as guests, carrying hidden cameras, each one a different ethnicity. First tester, white male, mid-40s, dressed casually. Result, checked in immediately. Room 304. Second tester, Asian female, early 30s, business attire. Result, checked in immediately. Room 412. Third tester, Latino male, late 20s, casual clothes. Result, initially hesitated, but given room. Room 521. I sat in my car reviewing the footage Marcus's team had sent to my phone. Time-stamped. High definition. Every interaction captured. Amanda Peterson had denied 3 black women in 4 hours, while simultaneously checking in multiple white guests with the same, or less, appropriate attire. Pattern and practice. That's what lawyers call it. Discrimination. At 11:47 p.m., I made one more call. To Samuel Parker, our Chief Human Resources Officer. Sam, I need you in Richmond tomorrow morning. 6 a.m. Bring Sarah from legal. We're conducting a termination. Who? Amanda Peterson, night manager, Grandview, Richmond. I have her on camera discriminating against multiple guests based on race. Sam was quiet for a moment. How bad is it? Bad enough that if we don't act immediately, we're looking at a lawsuit that could cost us millions. And worse, we deserve it. I'll be there. I hung up, looked at the hotel through my windshield. My hotel, my company, my responsibility. I was going to fix it. September 9th, 2024. 6:02 a.m. Sam Parker and Sarah Mitchell from legal arrived in a black SUV. I met them in the parking lot. I'd been there all night, documenting, reviewing footage, preparing. Good morning, Dr. Morrison. Sam handed me a coffee. He knew I'd need it. Morning. Everything ready. Personnel file is flagged. HR protocol initiated. Sarah has the termination paperwork. Sarah held up a folder. Standard documentation. We're terminating for violation of company anti-discrimination policy, section 4.2. She's had the training. She signed the acknowledgement. She knew the rules. Good. I looked toward the hotel. Let's do this right. We walked in at 6:08 a.m. Morning shift had just started. New front desk associate, young Latino guy named Carlos, greeted us warmly. Good morning. Welcome to Grandview. How can I help you? I smiled at him. We're here to see Amanda Peterson. Is she still on shift? Yes, ma'am. She's in the back office. Let me get her for you. A moment later, Amanda emerged. She looked tired. End of a 12-hour shift. Her eyes widened when she saw me. The woman she denied a room to 8 hours ago. Can I help you? Defensive already. I pulled out my business card, handed it to her. She read it. Her face went pale. Dr. Diane Morrison, Chief Executive Officer, Morrison Hospitality Group. I'd like to speak with you in the office, I said calmly. These are Sam Parker, our Chief HR Officer, and Sarah Mitchell, our General Counsel. Amanda looked like she might throw up. We walked to the back office. Small, cramped. A desk, a filing cabinet, a computer showing the same availability screen I'd seen last night. Still, 50 vacant rooms. Ms. Peterson, I began sitting across from her. Last night at approximately 7:45 p.m., I attempted to check into this hotel. I had a confirmed, prepaid reservation. You denied me a room, claiming the hotel was fully booked. Do you remember that? Amanda's hands were shaking. There was a system error. Please don't lie to me. My voice was steel wrapped in silk. I've been doing this for 20 years. I know what discrimination looks like. I've seen the footage. Multiple cameras. Time-stamped. Audio included. Sam slid a tablet across the desk. Press play. The footage showed everything. My denial. The white couple checking in immediately after. Kenya's denial. The pattern. Amanda watched. Her face crumpled. I want you to understand something, I said quietly. My grandmother was a housekeeper. She cleaned rooms at hotels like this for 40 years. She was invisible to guests, disrespected by management. She built this company so that people like her, like me, would never have to experience what she experienced. I leaned forward, and you, in one night, violated everything she stood for, everything we stand for. I'm sorry, Amanda's voice broke. You denied me a room because I'm black. You lied about availability. You suggested I go to a cheaper hotel. You told me I wasn't dressed appropriately while checking in white guests in cargo shorts. You discriminated. Deliberately. Consciously. Cruelly. Sarah slid the termination paperwork across the desk. Ms. Peterson, effective immediately, your employment with Morrison Hospitality Group is terminated. For cause. Gross violation of our anti-discrimination policy. You have 30 minutes to collect your personal belongings and vacate the property. Amanda stared at the papers. Please, I need this job. I have a mortgage. You should have thought about that before you discriminated against guests. Sam's voice was firm, but not unkind. This violation is documented, verified, and irrefutable. There's no appeal. But you're done here. I stood. Security will escort you to collect your things. Your final paycheck will be mailed. You're banned from all Morrison Hospitality properties. If you attempt to return, you'll be arrested for trespassing. I walked to the door. Turn back. Ms. Peterson, I hope you learned something from this. I hope you understand that your actions have consequences. And I hope that wherever you work next, you treat people with the basic dignity they deserve. I left her there, papers in hand, career over. But I wasn't done. Over the next week, I launched a full investigation into the Richmond property. What we found made me sick. Amanda Peterson wasn't an isolated case. She was a symptom. We pulled 6 months of reservation data, cross-referenced with guest names, cancellation patterns, room assignment algorithms. The pattern was damning. Black guests, 34% more likely to be told no availability than white guests with identical timing. Black guests, 67% more likely to be assigned rooms on lower floors or near service areas. Black guests, 89% more likely to have their reservations flagged for verification. We interviewed staff, confidentially, anonymously. What they told us broke my heart. Amanda would tell us to be careful with certain guests, said we needed to maintain standards. She'd ask us to double-check IDs for black guests, make them show 2 forms. Credit card authorization. Things we didn't require from white guests. One time, a black couple tried to use the pool. Amanda called security, said they didn't look like guests. They were guests. Paid full price for their room. I tried to report it once. Got written up for insubordination. We found complaints. Lots of them. Guest reviews mentioning discriminatory treatment. Staff reports that had been filed and buried. All ignored. All dismissed. All explained away. Because Amanda Peterson had been there for 8 years. Was efficient. Profitable. Kept the property running smoothly. And apparently, discrimination is fine as long as the numbers look good. I fired the regional manager who'd ignored the complaints. Fired the district supervisor who'd done the same. Restructured the entire regional leadership. And I implemented new policies company-wide. 1. Anonymous discrimination hotline, direct line to corporate. Bypasses local management. Investigated by external firm. 2. Quarterly bias audits, third-party analysis of reservation data, room assignments, guest feedback. Any property showing patterns gets immediate intervention. 3. Mystery shopper program, regular undercover guests, diverse in every way, testing our properties. Results tied directly to manager bonuses. 4. mandatory retraining every single employee, front desk to housekeeping to management, 4 hours of implicit bias training. Annually, no exceptions. 5. Zero tolerance, 0 exceptions, 1 verified discrimination incident equals immediate termination. No warnings, no second chances. We rolled out the changes in October. The pushback was immediate. You're being too harsh. Everyone deserves a second chance. This will hurt employee morale. I didn't care, because my grandmother didn't get second chances. The guests Amanda discriminated against didn't get second chances. Why should discriminators? 6 months later, I stood on stage at the National Hotel Association Conference. 5,000 hospitality professionals, industry leaders, competitors, press. I told them what happened in Richmond. I was denied a room in my own hotel, I said, because of my skin color, because of my appearance, because someone decided I didn't belong. The room was silent. I could have fired Amanda Peterson quietly, swept it under the rug, avoided the PR nightmare. But I didn't, because silence is complicity, and complicity is how discrimination survives. I pulled up the data, showed the patterns, the statistics, the proof. This isn't just about one manager at one hotel. It's about a culture that allows discrimination to hide in plain sight. It's about systems that protect profits over people. It's about leaders who look the other way when it's convenient. I paused. Let that sink in. Morrison Hospitality Group isn't perfect. We're still working, still learning, but we're not hiding anymore. We're confronting our failures. We're holding ourselves accountable, and we're building something better. I showed the results from our reforms. Discrimination complaints, down 78%. Employee satisfaction, up 45%. Guest satisfaction, up 34%. Revenue, up 23%. Turns out, I said with a slight smile, treating people with dignity is actually good for business. Who knew? Laughter. Applause. But I wasn't done. To every person watching this who's ever been denied service because of your skin color, your accent, your appearance, I see you. Your experience is valid. Your anger is justified, and you deserve better. To every hospitality worker who's witnessed discrimination and stayed silent, I challenge you. Speak up. Report it. Demand better. You have more power than you think. And to every leader in this industry, and every industry, who thinks discrimination is someone else's problem, it's not. It's your problem. It's our problem. And we all have a responsibility to fix it. The standing ovation lasted 6 minutes. Amanda Peterson tried to sue. Wrongful termination, discrimination, retaliation. Her lawyers withdrew when we presented the evidence. Time-stamped videos, data analysis, witness statements. She settled quietly, signed an NDA, disappeared from the industry. Kenya, my friend who'd been denied a room, ended up joining our corporate team. Now, she heads our diversity and inclusion department. Her first project? Making sure what happened to us never happens to anyone else. Carlos, the morning desk associate who'd greeted us so warmly, got promoted to assistant manager. He's thriving. The Richmond property? It's now one of our top-performing locations. We use it as a training center. Every new manager spends a week there learning about implicit bias, systemic discrimination, and how to build an inclusive culture. And me? I still do undercover visits. But now I'm usually pleasantly surprised. Not always. We still have work to do. But we're better. Measurably better. Last month, I checked into our Seattle property. Unannounced. No reservations. Wearing jeans and a sweatshirt. The front desk associate, a young black woman, smiled warmly. "Welcome to Grandview. How can I help you today?" I told her I needed a room. She got me one. No questions. No judgment. No assumptions. As I walked to the elevator, I heard her greet the next guest, an older white man in expensive clothes, with the exact same warmth. Equal, dignified, professional. I cried in the elevator, because that's what my grandmother built this company for. That's what her $50,000 and 40 years of invisible labor were meant to create. A world where everyone gets treated with basic human dignity. We're not there yet. Not everywhere. Not always. But we're closer. One room at a time. Lesson 1. Your character shows when you think no one is watching. Amanda Peterson didn't know I was the CEO. She thought she could discriminate without consequences. But here's the truth. There are always consequences. Maybe not immediately. Maybe not obviously. But they come. Treat every person like they might be the one who determines your future. Because they might be. Lesson 2. Silence enables injustice. The staff knew. The regional manager knew. The district supervisor knew. Everyone knew Amanda was discriminating. But nobody said anything. They protected their careers, their comfort, their relationships. And discrimination continued. If you see injustice and you say nothing, you're part of the problem. Your silence gives permission. Speak up, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Lesson 3. Systems don't change by accident. They change by intention. I didn't just fire Amanda and move on. I restructured our entire approach. New policies, new accountability, new consequences. Real change requires deliberate effort. If you're in a position of power and you're not actively working to dismantle discrimination, you're actively maintaining it. Lesson 4. Discrimination isn't just wrong. It's expensive. Our reforms didn't hurt our bottom line. They improved it. Guest satisfaction up. Employee satisfaction up. Revenue up. Bigotry is bad business. Inclusion is profitable. This isn't about charity or feeling good. It's about excellence. The best talent comes in all colors, all genders, all backgrounds. If you're not accessing that talent, you're losing. Lesson 5. Your legacy is built by what you do when it's inconvenient. I could have quietly handled Amanda. Could have avoided the PR nightmare. Could have protected the company's image. But my grandmother didn't sacrifice 40 years so I could protect corporate image. She sacrificed so people like us would matter. Your legacy isn't what you do when it's easy. It's what you do when it costs you something. Lesson 6. Power is only meaningful when used for justice. I have power. CEO of an $8.7 billion company. I could use that power to protect myself, to insulate myself from discrimination. Instead, I use it to confront discrimination wherever I find it. If you have power, and we all have power in some context, use it for something that matters. Use it to make the world slightly less cruel. Lesson 7. Never underestimate people based on appearance. Amanda looked at me and saw someone who didn't belong. Someone she could dismiss. Someone without power. She was catastrophically wrong. Every person you meet carries a story you don't know. Treat them like it matters. Because it does. This is Untold Chronicles, where hidden stories of justice finally come to light. If this story moved you, hit that like button right now. Subscribe for daily stories of accountability and justice. Comment. Have you ever been discriminated against? How did you handle it? Share your story below. And please, share this video. Every share puts pressure on businesses to do better. To be better. Amanda Peterson denied me a room because she thought I didn't matter. She was wrong. I mattered. Kenya mattered. Every black person who's ever been told they don't belong matters. And I'll spend the rest of my career proving it. I'll see you in the next Chronicle.